Because of you. Because of you.
Right. This is another episode of Strong United Voices. My name is Miss Lovey. I have my co-host. And we also have our special guest, which I will introduce in just a second. But first, we always do is shout out to our sponsor, which is Begreatclothing. As we see, I printed this today.
You did?
Yeah.
Yay.
So I'm trying. But, and also I want to get a shout out too. I don't know if everybody seen me post it. But the new steakhouse that's coming out, Diesel Steakhouse, it's crazy. I went and I, tested it out. So it's official. But they're not up and running. They're in the process of doing it. But they do take deliveries and all that. I mean, deliveries and they do take orders. So I'll put that stuff up at the end of the show. I love the eyebrows. What the hell? I gotta get my eyebrows done, honey. Y'all rocking these joints up here. Okay. But anyway, let's get right into our guest. And the first name will be, now you go by Willetta Taylor, right?
I go by Taylor.
Oh, Taylor. Oh, Taylor
I'm
Made.
known as Taylor Made.
Okay,
All
okay,
right now.
okay.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Jackie looking Taylor Made.
Okay, came in here, laid out. She's laid out. Okay, and so you are the CEO of Women the World Transition Services of Western New York. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, this is a nonprofit organization.
Yeah.
How long y'all been around?
We've been around for approximately 11 years.
Shut
Wow.
up.
Underground.
Okay.
Grassroots.
Oh, grassroots.
Yes.
Okay,
Social
okay.
graphics? Yes.
Okay.
On hand.
Okay,
Boots on the ground.
okay.
We've just been trying our hardest to inform, educate, and prevent domestic violence.
Okay. Well, you can take it from there, and I don't know if you want to start with your story and and do what you do.
Well, again, domestic violence is not a sexy subject,
Right.
and a lot of people they turn a blind eye.
Mm-hmm.
But ladies, I need to sit down. I need to talk. I need to sing. I need to shout.
Mm-hmm.
Domestic violence will kill.
Yes, it will.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of individuals, a lot of ladies, what I found and just in my experience, because once again, I am a domestic violence survivor
Okay.
for many, many years. Again, I never recognized that I was a domestic violence victim.
Wow.
Okay?
Wow.
Never realized it.
Okay.
Here I find myself growing up in a nice area in Lancaster, in Amherst.
Okay.
I live in Lancaster now, but in Amherst, as I grew up as a kid,
Mm.
we had the finest, the best of things. Okay, great.
Mm.
But boy, was we abused.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't talk about the abuse right inside of their homes.
Oh.
Okay, we're
Okay.
talking about the monster in the homes.
Mhm.
This is why I felt the need to contact, you guys, so that I can even open up even further.
Mhm.
Each platform that I find, I want to spread the word.
Mhm.
I want to let people know.
Mhm.
And whoever's listening, I want you to know that we are aware of it. We can relate to it.
Mhm.
We can feel it.
Mhm.
We can help you with it.
Mhm.
These things sometimes don't come, too easy for a person to talk about.
Right. That's
Right,
true.
right.
Let me just make sure I volume up. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Amen.
Let me just make sure I volume up.
They don't have the ability to express themselves of what's going on with them,
Right.
especially when it comes down to fighting each other in the home.
Right.
We
Mhm.
fight with our sisters and our brothers.
Right.
We know. A lot of people can tell me it have all extended from when I watched my mama get beat, when I watched my sister get beat, when I watched my brother beat. Okay, so all these things extend from home, like everyone says. Okay, but in my situation, I always knew that something was wrong.
Right.
But I just didn't recognize that I was in a situation that I knew that I had to have help with.
Right.
See, a lot of women cover it up.
Yeah.
A lot of women think it's natural, it's normal, it's common. This is the way in black people's house. This is the way it's supposed to roll. Stay out of these people's way. Blah, blah, blah. Or then some people just join in with them and they become abusers too.
Come on now.
And then they have kids and then their kids become abusers or they abuse their kids. Okay, so this is where we, as a unit, as an organization, as a self-built organization, I put together, I sat at my kitchen table and I put the pen to the paper.
That's right.
Why? Because I have come to terms with it. See, because as a kid, and I'm going to move around a little bit because I want you to really feel me. Because a lot of these agencies here in Western New York, okay, they open their doors, okay, and you sure enough, when you get there, okay, I'm going to do a testimony for you. When you get there, okay, they'll hand you a piece of paper and they'll show you where your cot is, okay, but they ain't going to show you how to get out of this dangerous situation that you done fell in. Let me knock on the doors of domestic violence for you. I'm here, and ain't nobody gonna make me leave until I am ready to leave or I stop hurting you. It's a way that you gonna make me leave out of your life from domestic violence. Because I am hitting you, I'm beating you, I'm slapping you, I'm punching you. And I'll stay as long as you let me stay, as long as you put up with me. I'm gonna come from the spirit because I know for a fact that we are unorthodox. Okay? This is coming from an individual, OG, that's been abused for approximately 30 years. Okay? So who in the world got the right to put your hands on me and think it's okay?
Right.
And think that I'm supposed to love you and like you afterwards. Now listen, ladies. Again, I'm knocking on the doors of domestic violence because I'm here to tell you that it don't have to be. It don't have to be.
This is serious, y'all. So that's why I said you don't want to miss this. So not only her story, she will be providing information on how to help you. So just keep paying attention. We got time.
Domestic violence. Some people don't even know what it means. And I'm gonna break it all down in as much as time as I have, and I'm gonna keep on keeping on. You'll see me. You will see me. My name is Mrs. Taylor.
Come on.
They call me Taylor Maid because I've been out here on the streets. I done came from this journey. I know where you are. I know where you at. I know how hard it is. I know what you put up with. I know what you forced to do. I know. Ladies, you gotta make up in your mind. It's gonna be one day, and I swear to God, I promise you, it will be one day. One day, you will figure it out that you have had enough. You're tired. You want more. Figure out first that you don't want to be hit anymore. You don't want to be cussed out anymore. That's the main thing getting out of this domestic violence situation that a person might be in. Sit down one day. Talk to yourself. What you want and what you don't want. And don't include that person at that time. All of these standard agencies give you this blah, 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 blah of, okay, so, what do you think you want to happen next? Okay, where do we go from here?
Where do we go from
It starts with you trying to figure out if you want this man still hitting and beating on you. Number one, figure out what you want. Then you figure out what you don't want. And then again, you decide that you want to leave. There's places to help you with that. We have to come to grips as us women and understand that it don't have to be. And I'm here to tell you, as a domestic violence victim for many a years, with dealing with my mother beating me, with my brothers beating me, now with my husband beating me. I thought my journey was over when I got married. Baby, and knocked back on my door again. Okay? And he held a criminal justice degree. I won't go on.
Mm.
But leave it to believe it. Leave it.
Right?
Leave it to believe it. Okay. Here I am again. Okay. And again and again and again. If you're in a situation where you are pretty much being abused in any kind of way, and I'll go into some kind of different kind of abuses that you need to be aware of. See,
Okay. That's what
we
we
need to
talking
educate us women
Mhm.
about the signs
Mhm.
for another relationship. Okay,
Mhm.
we need to educate the women on what types of abuse is out and available for you to read all about,
Mhm.
and you see how it identifies with yourself.
Mhm.
Okay. It is so many things that I want to tell these women.
Mhm.
This is the reason why I've named my organization Women of the World, because
Mhm.
I am a sister to all the women of the world.
Mhm.
Okay, when I was in my domestic violence journey, my mother was the awfulest person I could have ever met.
Mm.
Amen.
Mhm.
And I always said to myself, I know that this don't supposed to be.
Mhm.
I know for a fact that just because she's my mother, she's not supposed to hit me. She's not supposed to beat me. See, domestic violence is a learned behavior.
Mm.
So this where I have, as a mother of a daughter,
Okay.
I have broke the cycle.
Amen.
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 All right.
Amen. Amen.
Ah, amen.
Because you could have carried it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And this is the reason, another reason, I have several of them, but this is another reason why I do what I do.
Mhm.
Because I'm going back to get the ones that I left behind.
Mm.
Those ones that was in those shelters with me back in the day.
All
Come
right.
on.
All right. All
All
right.
those ones that were laying here on those cots with no plan.
Mm.
Because again, these shelters, they'll bring you in.
Mm.
They'll get that money from welfare.
Right.
Okay? And you'll walk around there up until 29 days. Okay? 30 days is the temporary shelters. Okay? And then they want to ask you again, do you want to stay longer? Because we get more money for you. Because now you become a cash cow.
Mm.
Wow.
Mm.
Are they going to help you?
Mhm.
This is the reason why they so threatening of Mrs. Taylor, women of the world.
I know that's
See,
right.
I'm going to feed 5,000 million people with only 15 fish.
Come on now.
Ooh.
Come on now. Say the word.
I'm
All
coming
right
back
now.
and I'm getting those ones that did not have a Mrs. Taylor March 27th of 2006 when I wind up from a bus station coming from different fleeing areas and all over the state.
Mm.
Sat down in Buffalo, New York with 2 bags of clothes, $60 in a dream.
Come on.
So wait a minute. Before you go on now, you're not from Buffalo.
I grew up in Amherst, Buffalo.
Okay.
I was born in the Bahamas,
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
fleeing, running, landed me back into Buffalo, New York.
Wow.
Fleed, I went all over Jacksonville, Florida,
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Detroit, Connecticut, Chicago, oh gosh, some other
Running?
places that I've heard and not even named.
You was
And
running?
then, baby, let me tell you,
Wow.
when you climb out the bathroom to your mama's house when you 16 years old and can't look back, and I have to ring the doorbell to the woman that abused me because I got a baby in my belly.
Mm.
Baby, baby, baby. They didn't have no Mrs. Taylors like me. And I done took a lot of young ladies, as you know, testify. I got receipts, okay, here in Western New York that didn't have nobody until Mrs. Taylor stepped to them.
Mm.
And I swear to God, if you can't remember my name, you call me help.
Mm.
Because I'm going back to get the ones that was left behind.
Mm.
The ones that don't know that they can get an apartment.
Mhm.
The ones that don't know that they can get them some furniture. The
Mm.
ones that don't know that they can get them an order of protection.
Come on
The
now.
ones that don't know that they can get their baby back. The ones that have been taken from them through the family court here
Mm.
in Western New York.
Come on.
Miss Taylor.
All right. Behavior. Domestic violence is a learned behavior. Somebody didn't learn to beat you, and that's okay with you.
Mm.
That's okay with you. A lot of people don't understand that domestic violence, it is all over the place. They claims now that this 1 to 7 individuals will experience domestic violence in their life. No, excuse me, ma'am. On the contrary, it's 7 out of 12 women will be subject and experience domestic violence in their life.
Mm.
Maybe even before they turn 25 years old.
Mm.
Hmm.
Mhm.
All right now.
Mhm.
Go ahead, talk.
Women of the world
Mm-hmm.
was created by myself and my strong team here in Western New York.
Mhm.
They volunteer their time.
Mhm.
And our achievement and our mission definitely is to break the cycle of domestic violence and abuse,
Mhm.
empower women and eliminate them from having to return back to a dangerous
Come on.
situation.
Okay.
After my journey, after I put my pen to the paper and I came up with this one in a lifetime,
Mhm.
the first, the only. And I want to say a resolution.
Mhm.
A resolution to solving the abuse of domestic violence.
Mhm.
Amen. Amen.
Mhm.
I created the first, the only largest non-for-profit domestic violence facility here in Western New York. We'll be breaking ground soon.
Mhm.
But the message is what I'm trying to portray, how to get their attention, everyone's attention.
Right.
That if you're in a situation, there's people that can help you with that.
Mhm.
If you are in a situation where you living with him, guess what? You can get your own. God bless the child that has his own.
That's
That's
right.
right.
We're not going to keep on saying it all over again because domestic violence now we have evolved.
Mhm.
I'm in the midst,
Mhm.
as the Lord and I, as we are in the midst of helping these women,
Right.
and I'll do all I can. You know, I feel as though that a lot of women they don't understand a lot about it, and again I'm gonna keep on saying it over and over again because again a lot of people don't know.
Right.
A lot of women just don't know.
Right.
They don't know. They don't know. They don't know their rights as a woman.
Mhm.
They don't know that there's several different places here in Western New York that may help you, but believe me, tap me because I'm your typing fingers,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna do the talking and you can do the walking.
Mhm.
All right
Our
now.
agency, we take you to the water and we give you a glass of ice,
Mhm.
Ooh,
okay?
they give you water and with some ice with
Right,
it.
right.
Come on now, they ain't gonna
Right.
leave you thirsty.
Right.
Come on now.
Right.
All right
Because
now.
I know what's needed, I know the purpose,
Right,
and
right.
also too, when I got off of that bus, that Greyhound bus, March 27th, 2006, with those 2 plastic bags, summer clothes, and it's March in Buffalo.
Right. It's winter.
Okay,
Mhm.
almost gonna be an anniversary soon.
Mhm.
Okay. I didn't have the help that we provide.
Yeah.
I didn't have the knowledge of knowing that you can go to one of these halfway houses or these shelters.
Mhm.
I didn't know these things.
Right.
I didn't know these things, especially when I say halfway houses when you come from prison.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay, so a lot of individuals that don't have the parole board behind them, they don't have a place to be walking out in
Right.
when they come from prison.
Yeah.
You know, these young ladies out here, they don't realize that there is so much help.
Mhm.
There's a lot of help. And even now, there's so much funding out here for women and children going through crisis because of the pandemic,
Mhm.
more than any time that you ever gonna see, perhaps in my lifetime and maybe even yours.
Wow.
This is the reason why I'm here today. I want to put it out there
Okay.
that if you are struggling, there is people to help you with that. If you need some things, there's some places that you can go to get these things.
Mhm.
If these individuals are harming you, you need to speak up and speak out,
Mhm.
okay? If you are in a serious, dire need to help with your family court, me personally, I like to help with that. Again, it's just so much that I just want to say. I just want to just pass it on, you know, that, again, domestic violence, there's nothing to play with.
Mhm.
Our non-for-profit organization, we strive, we are very determined, and we work very hard with resources to better help women here in Western New York.
Mhm.
I know for a fact that there is some women right now, to this day, struggling with domestic violence. They're in their homes right now, it's snowing outside here in Buffalo, and they are fed up, and they are scared, and they are confused and uninformed on what to do and how to get out of the situation. right now, today.
Yeah.
All right.
And I just wanna let them know that
Right.
there's help here for that.
Well, let's talk about the signs. Let's get into these signs.
Amen.
Not only because a lot of people think it gotta be physical. Let's talk about some mental abuse that maybe they're not aware. It's not all about calling names and stuff like that.
Right.
It's other mental abuse. Maybe you can touch on that for some. Because I want to reach out to my young girls.
Amen.
You know what I mean? Because
Amen.
it's young women that's going through that nowadays
Yes.
because it's their baby father or it's because, they think it's love. You know, so we can bring out some of those,
Amen.
touch on some of those.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Because I've been guest speaking in a lot of the colleges before the corona, pardon me, and as we teach, and we teach the classes, and we have parenting classes.
Oh,
that,
okay.
The ladies.
Now, what
went in
colleges y'all at?
ECC.
Okay.
Downtown.
Okay.
We've been to Continental School of Beauty.
Oh.
We've been to Jericho.
Yeah.
We've been through Zabar, other agencies,
Okay.
other outlets of all kinds here in Western New York.
Okay.
You know, we try to group with as many people as possible, but some of them like to stay away from us because of the situation that is not sexy. Okay, so they do turn a blind eye. Even now, to this day in 2021, okay, so the control of power, and that's what young ladies need to look at. The control of power is a real MF, okay?
Right.
And this is the reason why there's certain things that ladies need to know about when it comes down to baby mama drama. He got another kid and he's messing around with you and the other kid, mother. We talk about members of the family with the drama. You know what I'm saying? Sisters fighting sisters and wind up cutting each other. I didn't visit some women down in Wendy, all because of this domestic violence is not completely addressed. There's no help there. There's no issues that has been, stabilized and saying, okay, listen, you don't go with her, you don't go with this. And again, it's so common in our households with your siblings. Okay, everyone thinks sometimes that it's domestic violence with a partner.
Right.
And I hate when they say that. I hate when they say that because, I was brutally attacked and beaten by my older brother. Now, who does that?
Right.
Okay, so let them know that if they're getting even, abuse in your household with your other siblings, it's a way to get rid of that. It's a way to fix those things.
Yeah.
You can't keep continuing to grow up like that. And then I know I meet females now that got babies and, they like, my sister, she used to do this to me, she used to do that to me. And then now, they carrying on the problems and now they fight other women on Facebook.
Right.
Okay? So this is why all these women now are being cut and shot and beat and carrying all these inside scars because of their not being aware of what they're subjecting themselves to and how to address it. How you gonna be a good wife? How you gonna be a good baby mama? How you gonna be a mother if you can't address your anger issues, your issues yourself? I'm a woman's advocate all the way to the day I die, but I know for a fact that sometimes these women, okay, because again, my mother abused me. She used to pick and choose who she wanted in the house to beat me.
Oh,
she
shit.
turned
Showing
around.
favoritism?
Amen. Okay,
Oh.
she too tired. Okay, so she gonna have to beat me, and then on top of it, she done beat my daddy. I done watched the lady beat my daddy. So all of these things that's going on in the world, I'm telling you, especially when it comes down to it, with the women addressing domestic violence, you have to be able to address it. You will carry it for the rest of your life.
Right.
And we know for a fact that it will impact every part of your life.
Right.
And again, you spoke about the signs.
Right.
The signs, the several different types of domestic violence. And again, like we said, it's not always the physical.
Right.
Because they'll say in a minute, you know what,
Right.
he don't beat me, but.
Right. The butt is always in there.
But, okay. Of course, we also know about the sexual abuse. Sexual abuse, human trafficking, okay. You like this guy, okay. He's one of those boogaloos, okay. And I'll explain that. And then now, with his friends now wants to come over and get with you and get with her. And, we got these 3 parties going on in the bedrooms. And all these things now amount to nothing but either pressured from sexual paths, you got to do this and you got to do that because you love me, and now you live in my house, you live with my mother, saying you got to do what you got to do, to hold you down. This is what you eat my beloved sandwiches, and you won't go over here and get with him, blah, 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 blah. Then they turn you into a drug runner. Okay, now you're running his drugs for him, blah, 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 blah. This is all psychological abuse and sexual abuse. He's abusing you. He's either forcing you to sleep with him when you don't feel like it, or you on, another whole, I don't feel like it because I'm trying to get rid of you. You know what I'm saying? One of those things. Us women, we can relate. Yes. Okay. Psychological abuse is very common, and I want to say the Black community. I've had a lot of clients, excuse me, and in the suburbs as well. But psychological, it usually starts first. It usually starts first. That control, where you at.
Right.
I ain't tell you to.
You can go.
What you wearing? Who's there? That right there starts from when you start with the relationship. That's key. Know your person. Know your partner. Know when he is pissed. How do you handle himself? Now you know now. You ain't supposed to be laying down with no man that can't handle anger.
That's right.
You don't need to be late. You better make these choices. Stop popping off with the physical choice of who's going to be my next baby daddy.
Come on now. Say it twice.
He look good. He got a car and a job.
Hustling.
But what about you and what you have? That's the question that needs to be answered. You
know what dating nowadays, y'all? I swear.
Please.
Okay. It's not dating. It ain't even relationships.
You're right.
Situationships.
Right.
Situationships.
Yeah, right.
All the way. That's why it's talk. Key. Communication is key. Communication is key. Again, choose your man like you buy your groceries.
Come on now.
Ooh, or like you buy your clothes too.
Right.
I add on.
Right.
Clothes is good.
Whatever you love,
whatever
but
you
you're
love.
nurturing your body. You're nurturing your body.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Psychological abuse is usually what, like I said, it starts first. Okay. And mostly sometimes the emotional abuse. You know what I'm saying? That's that on the Facebook, and now I done changed my status.
Say it now. Say it now.
Needing validation.
Okay.
Come on now.
Okay.
Right.
Change that. Single up.
And just to reiterate real quick, I just want to let y'all know I'm not being rude, but I had actually several questions at the end.
Oh, okay.
When we get to the end, I was typing it in.
Yeah.
So I do have a couple questions to ask you at the end.
Good deal.
So, yeah, you're right. Come on now.
Emotional abuse. We got to get smarter.
All right.
You don't have to work harder.
Yeah.
That's a good man. We just don't. We just got to get smarter. Emotional abuse cannot affect you unless you let it. And then if it's only that emotional abuse, that's when you can just drop it like a bad habit. Google it. Realize what he's giving you and see if it falls inside of those columns. I'm the type of individuals that do my journey. I put things into columns.
Come on now.
Because I know for a fact that I don't have to write down at all who have ever blessed me. Strangers have gave me things off their back. Okay? I don't never have to write them down. But I keep a list of the ones that kicked me in the teeth.
Come on.
Pissed in my face. I keep a list of those. So the emotional abuse, you find a way handling it. You have to be able to identify it first.
Come on.
Every time you're talking to this man, he's upsetting you. He's taking you to a 10.
Come
He's
on.
taking you out your character. He's involving you in destructive behavior, recklessness,
Come on.
negligence to yourself and to your surroundings and even your children. This is called emotional abuse. This is when he posts on Facebook and he with the other baby daddy, the other baby mama, and the kid is loving up on to him then. And he ain't seen yours in months. He ain't had no Christmas for yours. These are things that hit people that they have to start to realize that this cannot continue to go on. You gotta grab these things right now. You gotta grab these things right now so you can to get your tool bag together so you can fix your life, fix this situation, so that you can move on. Don't let it keep scarring these women. These things scar these women so bad, okay? And then they come around and they 40 and 50 and 60 years old and say, guess what? This happened to me, and I just continue to let it go on. If you don't do nothing, nothing won't happen.
Come on now.
Okay? Verbal abuse, oh baby. That comes to so many different areas. I mean that is it's a lot to unfold. It's a lot of baggage that comes along with the abuse. I mean, me myself personally, I was good morning bitch or good night bitch. Right. For a minute, sometime when I grabbed the pen and paper, I didn't even know what to write because I thought that was my name, and I was in high school. And then it just kind of just all created a big snowball effect. I mean, getting off the bus coming from school, and I see ambulances and police cars right at my house, at my door. And at some point, I stop even running to the door. I get there, and there's glass on the floor and blood on the walls. They've been fighting with each other while I'm at school.
Wow.
And I'm in 3rd and 4th and 5th and 6th and 7th, 8th and 9th, 10th grade. Okay? So, I just want to say that this verbal abuse, that can do damage.
Yeah.
That can do damage as well. Financial abuse. People are married, and they don't even see their check. Because dude didn't took it. Okay? He didn't ask to use your EBT card because he wants to go and get some chips. Or you might need some red sauce to fix the kids the spaghetti. And let's see here. This is Saturday. He don't come back till Tuesday.
And I'm not laughing at it,
And
but
he got
this shit
your
happened. This shit has happened. I'm okay.
And he got your EBT card.
And come back broke.
And the card is $0 on it. Balance 0. What you gonna do? You gonna call social services and tell them you need some more? No. 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 He didn't took the money out your wallet, so now you can't even pay nobody. He know your PIN number. You know?
Right.
He didn't came and knocked on your bedroom door and pushed it open, okay, at 1 in the morning because he been out with his boys. Now he need $20. And you gonna give it to him. Because y'all going to about to fight and tear your brand new purse that you bought down at Broadway Market.
She talking about the situation. Yeah.
And this is the truth. It's serious, but it's the truth.
And listen.
And you can't tell how to get there when they've been there and done that.
Right,
so you got to listen. Because it's people that's really going through, man.
And Miss Lovely.
We had this
We're not
conversation.
laughing, right? We're not laughing at the. I'm reiterating what you said.
Right.
We're not laughing at the circumstances that occurred.
Right.
But I'm telling you, she's telling the situation right down to the T of how things really go in those in those relationships, those domestic violence relationships. So we take in light of that, because it's the truth.
And you got some friends out there like that. Don't act like you ain't got no good friends calling you like, is she dumb or what? Because you wouldn't allow it. But people got to walk that process. And as Ms. Taylor's saying, is it started within the home. See, people don't tell that. So when you think they with this man, like they just got like this, no, some abuse came somewhere where they learned to deal with that type of abuse.
Right. Yes.
Go ahead, Ms. Taylor.
Absolutely. That is so true. That's so true. And it saddens me. It saddens me to think that this is your hope. This is that he's going to change. This is not warm water. It's not going to change. Warm water is going to run out and then it's going to become cold. It depends on what kind of hot water tank you have in your basement.
Right.
But this is not hot water. This is not warm water. It's not going to change until you let it change, until you find a change. A lot of women in domestic violence situation don't like a change. They go, oh, he going to go to jail. That's my baby daddy. Oh, what is mama going to do? Oh, what's this going to happen? What's going to happen? Let me tell you right now. One thing for sure and two things for certain. You deserve to be free of abuse, number one. Again, know what you like, know what you don't like. Okay. Number two, there's a process that he will be able to go through, and he can come back on the other side, the side that you fell in love with. before this abuse started.
Right.
Okay. And another thing, if he's that potent and he feels as though he has the right to beat you, he don't need to be with you.
That's right. That's right.
And there's places for that. Forget, where am I going to go for a safe place? It was like that. It was like that. This is why they don't report. This is why they don't, get out of it. There's a lot of people say again, why do they stay? You know, it's a lot of reasons why persons stay. But the main reason is because they feel as though that they're gonna have a change. That is gonna change. He's gonna go to jail. You're not gonna be able to find no place to go. The shelters are crappy. All these things. Little do you know that they have came up with a situation. And I want to say, when I say they, I'm meaning us. I mean a lot of these other agencies, because it's called, you don't have to go anywhere. If he's doing what he don't need to be doing, he's got to go.
Okay. Now.
We don't need to keep finding y'all a place to stay.
Right.
You better find out how well you're going to be able to deal with the fact that he's not with you anymore.
Right.
When they find out, when things are gotten to the point where it's out of control and your baby is at foster care, or your baby is in the custody of child protection because you allowed for yourself to get beat, and therefore your child has been experienced and been subject to abuse.
Okay.
So I have had a lot of clients that never reported it until they did. And they had a rack of different things that they had to go through.
To get the
To
kids
get their
back?
child back.
Okay.
To get their own self-worth back. To get their own stability back. Their own independence back. All because they were too afraid to address the issue when the issue was there.
Gotcha.
Express it with that individual. Address it with someone else. And then you do something about it. Make some calls. Ask some people some questions. Find your peace. Because again, there's several different types of abuse. And I believe me be, there's a lot of individuals that's going through it and don't even realize that they are.
Right.
Now let me ask you a question. What you guys do, obviously I'm gonna have to get that information because you know this will go on YouTube. So
Yes,
when
ma'am.
I'm putting that up, I'm
Yes,
gonna need that
ma'am.
information, like, maybe I can get a photo of a pamphlet or some contact information, some addresses, now when you say in these shelters, I'm assuming, and we all know what that means when she's saying in the system, and obviously it does come with the race card because it's black individuals going to these people for help. They don't understand it because they don't go through it. So what she's saying is that this is a black nonprofit organization that understands, been there, done that, and can know what you need as far as your circumstances.
Right.
So you have to, who that got an ear, listen to what she's saying. It's not don't run to those other shelters, but she's saying they know how everything works. They know the process. They know how they're going to get you moving forward than somebody telling you got 29 days delay here and we'll get paid off of you. So now how does that work with your nonprofit? Do y'all have people like donating clothes, or what do y'all need?
That was some of the questions I had.
Let's talk about that. What do y'all
Absolutely.
need to help your organization going forward? Or
Absolutely. Like I stated, our organization, we specialize in servicing the women and children suffering from domestic violence and abuse.
Okay.
Once we have the opportunity of meeting with you, whether it's at Buffalo General, Eastie, MC Emergency, or where it's even at someone's home or even at the coffee shop. Okay, 211 is going to have some information that if you would like to contact our office, they also will.
Who's that?
211.
I heard of that.
211.
211, okay.
211 is for the homeless hotline services
Oh, okay.
here in Western New York.
Okay.
Basically, we do an intake on you. And we basically just sit down and listen to everything you want us to hear. And sure enough, we then put our minds together and our technique and our strategies and we go to work on your needs. You need an apartment because you're homeless, we work with on that. We have landlords, we have properties, listings, and things of that nature that we give to the individuals.
Oh, okay.
And we let them know that we'll come with them
Okay.
to the apartment, and we'll help them get the apartment.
Now let me ask you a question. When you say help them get it, is that are y'all financing for them?
Well, see, now that's where the state steps in at.
Okay.
We do have, we have Section 8 in the
Okay.
Belmont, and we have some other facilities, I won't add on air right now.
Right, that's okay.
That the individuals can go to
Until-
receive security deposit in first month.
Oh,
Right.
okay, okay.
Now, they are draining themselves out, okay? This
Okay.
is what we're trying to accomplish ourselves as a non-for-profit organization. We were asked, to back off, and we don't wanna make enemies.
Right.
Because we were doing a lot of our own financing and helping women out here in the street, and they got word, and they got threatened, and they were saying that if I take the women and I take them from out the shelters and put them inside of their independent homes and take them from out of crisis standpoint into self-sufficiency, then I'm messing with their monies, okay?
Okay, so you telling me, I'm sorry, I gotta cut you off. So here it is, you sitting up here trying to do God's work, and you sitting up here going in the spirit, sitting up here, going to these companies, going into the shelters, grabbing the women out, assisting them, because you have your own finances. You telling me you became a threat to some of the state organizations that's already in the place? How could you come a threat if the first initial need and the whole purpose of it is to help those that go to that shelter? If you could come in personally and have your own finances
Oh,
to
I'm
go
bringing them
in,
in there too.
I'm
using their facilities when mine was not available.
Mhm.
We're using their
Sending them.
facilities to actually walk them through the doors of Cornerstone Manor.
and you telling me they came at you because you had your own funding to be able to help them to get their own apartment and stuff? How could you be a threat? So then who are they for? If you for the people, or you for yourself?
Amen.
Wow.
They said, you know what? Who does she think she is? Think that she's gonna come in here and take our rent money
Oh shit.
and take these individuals out of our shelter, and think that she can help them and get them an apartment.
Have you ever thought about taking that to federal or taking that to Supreme Court? Have you ever thought about that? Because that's what your foundation is supposed to be for. That's what the state
I was
organization is
literally
supposed to be for.
contacted. I was literally sitting in front of and meeting with several different agencies here in Buffalo that would basically tell me, no, they are not going to share any of their funding. They are not going to even sit me at the table.
Wow.
Mrs. Sister Jean from the Recreation Society in Elmwood, Inglewood in Buffalo.
Wow.
960 Main Street.
So these people gotta suffer. So these people gotta suffer just on the strength of somebody's ego.
Well, they get their monies from either Susan Lapadua from the mayor's office. I
Oh,
wasn't
shit.
invited to sit at the big table because the funding are being used for their salaries. They are offering these women the standard basic amount of help to remove them from homelessness to self-sufficiency and independence.
Oh wow.
Our services are dedicated to help the women from the first point of abuse. Your most immediate need, is it your place to go?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a place for you to find a job? Is it a place for you to take care of your children? Again,
Did you talk to the mayor, or have you ever spoke with this Mayor Brown? I mean, we
She
asked
said
this question.
smile. You know what? She just smiled, and I don't
Okay, so that
even know if
answers-
I really wanted to answer.
Okay, well then don't, because
She
yeah.
smiled.
Okay.
But
So-
let me tell you something. Sorry, I'm
That's
pissed.
okay.
I'm so angry right now. I'm so pissed and I'm angry right now. Because first and foremost, that's ugly. You understand me, and understand that God always will find a way, and karma will come. You understand me? If you for the people, you be for the people, and not for yourselves. You understand me? Because greed is a sin, and people don't understand. You will be reprimanded for that. I'm glad that you spoke about that and said those names, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I just literally went like from 1 to 1,000 just now. I didn't even know. I mean, it just explains why so many situations have not been resolved. It makes sense on why there is just so many women that are still out here needing aid and assistance, and why many have probably passed away due to the fact that, because I can honestly say that I know of friends or individuals or associates who were in abusive relationships and they got killed in the midst of it. They got killed. I know some women that got murdered behind that. You get what I'm saying?
Me too.
So
young.
Right.
Oh,
So
I have so many.
So even in the midst of you having your organization and willing to assist these young ladies and children and everything else, have you thought about fighting against those organizations to a higher court system?
Well, I did speak with the Attorney General's office, and the young lady that hands out the funding, if you will, is in charge of the funding. Most of them are in a cult together. They're monopolizing the funding. It's territorial. One would approve the grant, and one would write the grant. Okay. I know for a fact I have receipts, but that's not what I'm about. Sure, I can go in there and be like, how come you don't treat me as fair as the other ones, and how come I don't sit at the table? The mayor sent the young lady to me, or we met, and that was supposed to happen, and it didn't. All I was told was to back up.
So
you
you got organizations that's supposed to be out to help.
501c3 non-for-profit organization
Right.
for women and children.
Right.
Okay, by law.
Right. So they got the funding to help the people. They constrict the help because they're trying to feed onto their salaries.
Yes, and it's a selective organization
Then turn
that get
around,
the funding.
right? And then turn around, come at you because you had your own money to help them out without even asking them for anything, and tell you don't do this because you become a threat.
Yes, ma'am. Don't you dare.
Oh, so they're gonna fight you all the way around the board.
My business was compromised. My services was compromised. It was a young lady that was going through family court, and she arrived in front of Judge Lovato, and she was told to enroll with Women of the World Services for parenting classes and coping with domestic violence and so on and so forth. She had a baby taken from her because of the baby daddy, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So she went back to where she was placed at because she was homeless. She went to the Cornerstone Manor, and Gwendolyn asked her what happened in court, and she said, oh, they sending me to Women of the World Services. And she said, girl, if you do that, they're going to put you out of here.
They gonna put you out of there because the judge told her to come to you, and the people at that shelter gonna tell her don't go to them because they gonna put you out of here.
Yes.
But is it?
So she goes back to the
It's gonna
judge.
come to you.
So she goes back to the judge, and the judge says, wait a minute, you're not in compliance. That's why you go to Mrs. Taylor, so you can be in compliance. You're going to get your drug testing, you're going to get some counseling, you're going to get at least all of that, because you have a menu when you're going through family court. You got to do this, you know what I'm saying? Rub your stomach, pat your head, and do a cartwheel to get your baby back. But there's nothing listed downtown in the courthouse that says what you got to do. They don't even list of how you need to come to court. Okay? I've been struggling so hard to put that on the walls of the family courthouse. Okay? They don't want to do it. Okay,
and
so
we wonder why these families are still broken. We wonder why these women are still feeling helpless because the system is going against the grain.
I had all walks of life contact my services and say, Miss Taylor, I done been to the family justice. I done been to here and there. I done been here. I done been there. They ain't done nothing for me. They've done nothing for me.
And then they fight you trying to help them out.
Oh, yeah.
How was any help getting?
The shelter down in Pederisky, he called me while I was doing a motivational speaking at the My Space home to tell me that they're not going to give me none of the funding.
So wait.
So I'm actually walking around helping these women, ain't asked them for a pure dime, never, ever, ever opened it up, paid my rent, kept my lights on, paid my spectrum bill, paid my everything I had to pay to get my services up and running, and these people gonna say, don't go to Mrs. Taylor?
Well, we're gonna refer everybody.
And sure enough, the judge said, you're not in compliance, and she said to the judge, well, they told me if I was to appear in Mrs. Taylor's services, they would kick me out. Okay? So I knew. I found this through the grapevine that the girl called me from another cell phone in the shelter and told me what had happened. And so I called Annette at the Cornerstone, the president. And me and her had to talk. Mm-hmm. One thing for sure, Annette, is this. I was a resident of the Cornerstone. Okay? Mm-hmm. Yes. So I know how y'all roll. I'm not trying to knock y'all. But I know if you ain't going to help these women, please stop hurting.
Come on now.
Because they're becoming a part of this. They're becoming a part of the problem instead of the solution. Mm-hmm. It's like a never-ending cycle. How somebody gonna get resolved?
Stick with the privacy laws. You hiring these den ladies to work in your facility, and then they having personal grievance with these women, and then getting them kicked out. Mm. Okay. They're extorting these women because after they stay there and don't give them a plan, nowhere to go, then they
either go back where they came from,
they force them to go upstairs for 6 months of rent. Cha-ching!
What? Upstairs where?
Inside of their living facility. They have a 6 months program and you can stay there for 6 months or 2 years. They offered it to me. I told them thanks, but no thanks.
And you gotta pay. Well, social service pay it, I guess.
And if you're working, you got to hand over 90% of your income.
God damn.
I said to
you
them, no,
get your own shit.
Thank you. Thanks for no thanks. No, thanks for no thanks. Some people it's bad management, managing their money.
Yeah.
Some of them, need to stay and
learn how to train
hopefully branch off to a wraparound services and get yourself what you need. Your counseling, your drug.
But is they offering all that?
And all that? No. You know what? You sit there and you go to Spectrum if you want to go to Spectrum. If you are under some type of authority from a mandate, then you'll go.
Oh, okay.
But they're not going to say, you got this, you got that, you got this. They drug test you because they're afraid that you're doing drugs in their facility. And you might hurt somebody or kill yourself. And they'll be claimed for it. And they'll be liable for it. Okay? That's the only reason why they drug test you, not to get you help.
Oh, shit.
They hired this girl named Dominique, I'll never forget. I called over there, I said to her, so Dominique, tell me more about this educational program that y'all got over there. You're the education director, right? Mm-hmm. So that means that these girls gonna get a GED, huh? Mm-hmm.
They're supposed to. I guess some type of education,
right? Because you're getting some funding. Offer me something.
Right.
Give me something.
Right.
Send me something that I can go on so I can get back into the world, to society.
Right.
When you do your intake on me, ask me these questions and then help me with these things. Right. Help me get back into school. Help me get enrolled inside of the Adult Learning Center. Help me be able to become a nurse that I wanted to be all the time until he started beating me and I got put out. Right. Okay, help me do these things. Help me get off these drugs. Help me with an apartment. Right. Help me get on SSI. Help me with my disabilities. Right. Help me get a job. Help me get some driver's license. Help me get
a license. I mean, a ID.
Yeah,
shit.
Help me get my birth certificate.
Right.
Help me get something. Mm-hmm. Don't just sit here and just want to collect the rent from me. Mm. For me.
Mm. This is serious. This is much deeper than what I expected here.
When a woman finds herself in a shelter, she has met the lowest point of her life. And I told her, I stand tall, and I stand right there, look dead in their face, and I said, you know what, sweetheart, I was exactly where you sit at right now. Mm-hmm. And I moved. Mm-hmm. I drugged myself. I dug myself. I got myself, pulled myself out of that ditch that I was in. Mm-hmm. And I stopped feeling sorry for myself. Mm-hmm. Right. And I stopped letting people tell me that I need to be a loser. I need to stay in a certain form and say certain column. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to be needing to ask for any help or no resources because I don't need nobody to tell me what to do.
Right. Wow. Now let me ask you a question. You do know they're running up for a new mayor.
Yes.
And what are your intake on that?
I feel as though that it's time for change.
Yeah.
It's time for change. I think that he's gotten too comfortable. I think that individuals work at his command, and we're not sure at this time if he's capable of leading this city any longer.
Yeah. A lot of people agree on that.
You know.
You know, a lot has happened that he hasn't partaken in fixing anyway, so.
Right.
Get out and vote, y'all. There's a new election coming up here again. India Walter will be the first black female to be female mayor of the city of Buffalo. And you gotta get that. We gotta get out there, y'all. We gotta get out there and get them signatures signed and get her in office. And let's see if we can make change. What do we have to lose?
Right.
When we've been losing so long.
Exactly.
So I believe in her. I believe she's going to make the changes that need to be done. And I promise you.
Amen. Women's gonna rule the world.
Yeah. She's gonna take over. We got to get out here and push that. But what I want to do for you though is, after we are off camera and everything like that, get more information from you, and so we can kind of support. We don't know any abused people, but if we hearing it or whatever, we'll push that. I'll push that as much as possible on here for you, so your recognition can get known much more than what happened. And a lot of people might don't know now, but that's why we load this on YouTube so they can revert back to that. And like I said, I want to put up some pamphlets or whatever you have for me now that I can put at the end of my video.
Okay.
Did you have any information you want to give to them before we close out?
Well, again, I am Mrs. Taylor. I'm known on Facebook as Taylor Made. We have our email address, violenceonwomenstops at gmail.com. We will be posting my telephone number. Our services are free. We are always open to speak with individuals. I usually don't turn my phone off, so if it's something that is very important, you will be transferred to my line. And again, if we are not able to help you, we definitely will be able to direct you in the right direction for your helps and your needs.
Okay.
That's it.
Any questions?
Yeah, you can. You got time to hit
Do I have time?
a couple. Yeah.
A couple?
Yeah.
Okay. While I was sitting here, I wanted to ask you, do you have a legal team that offers you assistance?
No, not right at this time. I do have several different attorneys that I consult with.
Okay.
If I need, for them to jump into the pool, hopefully they usually will do it pro bono. Because of the virus out here now, it's just been a lot of virtual and
Right.
excuse me, I had a jaw injury, so sometimes it don't come out correctly all the time. So leave me be. Again, we consult with them. We do speak with legal services, legal aid services as well. Any other attorneys that feel the need to take a look at several of our cases, cry out for help, and that those areas is always needed. We do also we are accepting all sorts of types of donations for the women and children suffering here in Western New York.
We'll get that information too.
Okay.
We are mostly liking toiletries, shampoo for hair, hygiene products, toothbrushes. We do provide the individuals with happy bags, especially when we pick them up from ECMC and transport them to a safe house. They like to take showers and things of that nature. Some of the places that we have to, enter them in as a safe house don't always have those things on hand right away. Pajamas, socks. Anything as a female that you would think of that you would need, these individuals need it, and they need it fast because some of the clothing are cut off of them. They're walking out of these hospitals with just the hospital gowns on. So you can put that in your hearts. There is a Dollar Tree, that basically $5 would be helpful and grateful to anybody, because the $5 can buy a lot, especially when she don't have nothing and she just didn't ran him out the house.
Right.
Okay.
one more question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any church officials that volunteer spiritual guidance?
Well, we have talked with St. John's and Pastor Pridgeon hasn't been quite helpful. We did speak with him and we wanted him to help with donations, and he pretty much said, quote unquote, I'm going to just take you down out your bubble. These people is not going to give you any money. I know you're not expecting me to give you any amount.
What?
Okay, and we're gonna close that out.
All right, so
And that's my that's
wow, this is getting deeper and
This
deeper.
is
I'm gonna have more time.
SUV 716 broadcast.
and my
We just
name
like
is
to keep it
Indoor.
real.
That's, come on,
Keep it
come
real.
on, be great. Yes.
You and be real.
Okay, and we're gonna come back. We're gonna follow back up with you in 30 days, if that's fine with you.
Yes.
To see if we can get some donations and things and get some things sent to you. So we'll be pushing this hard. Again, you guys, you heard it from here for the domestic violence. Please contact us in concerns of this nonprofit, Women of the World.
And please be aware that there is counseling services available. There's legal services, services to help with your child. There's employment programs. There's health-related services, the educational opportunities. There's financial assistance. There's furnishings, and startup apartments. Information available, medication, if that's what we need to help with, special disability needs and drug treatments, and also intervention. Please walk
Reach
away
out.
from domestic violence now.
Reach out. StrongUnitedVoices@gmail.com. Peace.
Took him by surprise when he kissed me. I never knew he felt the way he did. For me, it's been since '96, I swear, yeah. Careful, cause I didn't wanna lose a friend. So I held inside my love. Play safe simply because I did.
I hustle. I'm trying to make a living.